Good evening, Glitter Gang. How are you on this Thursday evening? The last Thursday of January 2020. January's almost over. Scrappy Bowl is almost here. Scrappy Bowl is here this weekend, actually. It is Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So that's Sunday, February 2nd, this coming Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern USA time. In this video description, I've put a link to where you can sign up to have a chance to win a prize for Scrappy Bowl. And that link also has all the rest of the information that you need to know about Scrappy Bowl. We're having a sale. All this, everything you need to know is going to be in that link in the description below. If you're watching on the archives and not on YouTube Live or on YouTube Recorded, then go to facebook.com/Kathryn Scraps sometime before noon on Sunday and make sure you get signed up. All right, so good evening. Hello to all of you. We, this afternoon, designed the inserts for the sleeves that go in the box that we're going to make during Scrappy Bowl. So I wanted to have this stuff ready, and I have a tiny creeper skulking her. Well, here she is. Skulking. Oh, she saw a string. So that's all she wrote. So that's it. There's a tiny. I know, it's a tiny. It's now hers. It's her envelope. She's like, oh, can I have this? Can I just eat the button? She's just going to eat the button right off it. Well, you know that distressing is popular in crafting, so that's what you, yeah, that's a good stretch, Tiny. Don't encourage Tiny Cat. She already steals stuff off my desk. She's already a desk thief. There might be kitty treats inside. You never know. You never know. Now she's sitting on the paper trimmer because she doesn't want me to be able to cut any paper. Okay, so let's go back to where we were this afternoon, which is that we had made these inserts. And the final size for these inserts is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So in order to have enough room for them to go in their pocket pretty easily, we need our pocket to be, so now I'm going to draw our sleeves. So this is our sleeve. So we need our sleeve to be 4 1/2 by 6 1/2. That way they're not going to be taller than the sleeve or wider than the sleeve. All right. And then the sleeve itself is going to be box-like in structure. So what we're going to do is actually going to have they're going to have curved sides. We need to figure out how deep we want them to be. And if we're going to put 4 of these in each sleeve, I think we can do 1 inch. So by 1 inch. All right. So this is how we calculate a box, because a box is different than an envelope. So earlier I taught you how to calculate an envelope. Now I'm going to teach you how to calculate a box. A box is 2 times this plus 2 times this. So the 2 sides, the 1 inch side and the 4 1/2 inch side. So that's 8 1/2 plus 2, or no, that's not 8 1/2. That's 9 plus 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. So the thing would be 11, except it's not 11 because we need 1 extra little piece to attach, you know, to hook to and attach to close it. So we need it to be at least 11 1/2. So it can be either 11 1/2, it can be 12. Can't be any smaller than 11 1/2. Then for the height, which is 6 1/2, that's fine. But we have to do 6 1/2 plus 1 because it needs a bottom. So that's 7.5 plus at least a 1/2 inch for wrapping around and sticking. So that's 6.5 plus 7 plus 1 is 7.5 plus 1/2 inch is 8. So our box is 8 inches by 11.5 inches. All right. And again, you can make any size box. You can calculate however you want to do it. All right, so we're going to make 3 of these. So 11.5 by 8. And this is going to come together pretty quickly, I think. All right. So on the 11.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2, 1 1/2, 6, 7. All right. So on the 11.5 inch side, we're going to score at 1/2, 1 1/2, 6, 7. And on the 6.5 inch side, or on the 9 inch side, the 9 inch side is easy because you're going to score at your height, which is 6.5, 1 inch, which is 7.5, and then a 1/2 inch, which is 8. So 6.5. Well, you don't actually score it at 8. 8 is where it's cut. You just score it at 7.5. All right. So now we fat slab, which is fold along all the score lines and burnish. And you should have something that looks like this. These are the sleeves that hold the inserts inside the pencil box that we are going to make on Scrappy Bowl. So this is, we're doing some work ahead of Scrappy Bowl. And I forgot to put this video in the archive this afternoon, but I uploaded it to YouTube and I'll upload it to the archives tonight. All right, now, when you hook your thing together, you don't want this hook to be on the front, okay? So wherever it closes, this is now the back, all right? So you want everything to close towards the back, which means that if you're gonna round the sides, just to give it a more pencil case look, then you would round in front of the back. So this is the back, this is the front, so we would round the front. All right, so that the sides will be rounded like a pencil case is. All right, now we're gonna cut this down a little bit to make it easier to get things in and out of these. Specifically, we're gonna cut it down 1 inch. And we're gonna put these on 1 inch, well, one of them will be on a 2 inch riser inside the pencil box, and one of them will be on a 1 inch riser. So the back of one will come up to the front of the other. All right, so now we're gonna cut that out, all right? And we're gonna make 2 cuts actually, because we're gonna remove the score line. So we're gonna cut on either side of the score line. Well, no, we don't need to, because we're gonna just pull it. Make sure you pull the score line off with the piece you remove from the front. And then just ruler, craft knife, cut from score line to score line. That was my sound effect of what it sounds like to cut. And then already, what's it looking like? Ah, ta-da! You love the new sound effect? I'm so glad. Each of these will hold 4 inserts, correct? They'll probably hold more than 4 inserts, but they'll have plenty of like room with 4 inserts, you know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna hook it around to the back so that it's on the back. All right, which means I'm gonna put my tape on the inside. I'm also gonna erase the pencil because the pencil will show not... it won't show like on the lip, but on the 2 sides it'll show. All right, so we're gonna put tape on this flap. I believe it could hold a rose pocket. It probably could hold a rose pocket if it was wide enough to hold a rose pocket. I'm not sure 6.5 inches is wide enough to hold a rose pocket. But if 6.5 was, then yes. And if 6.5 wasn't, you know, you could adjust. You know, you could just use that little guideline I just gave you to adjust it. Okay, now let's talk about what else we're keeping. So we're keeping these bottom 2 rows from the front piece. Okay, so this is the front. We know it's the front because it has a notch. So everything down from the front we keep. All right, but we don't need those pieces on the back piece, so those go. All right, and then on the sides, these 1, 2, 3, you can see we have these 3 small little ones. We don't need those. Bye bye. And then this tiny one right here we don't need either. Adios. All right, but we are keeping this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so let's start shaving everybody. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and again, whenever I cut off something that's next to a score line, I like to get rid of the score line. So, and I'll just use a ruler for this just because it's probably not a big deal, but let's just be persnickety, why not? All right, so we got rid of that. And then here, I want to remove this score line. So we're keeping this piece, we're keeping this piece, but I want to, I don't want the score line. So we're going to get rid of the score line. So I'm going to cut on either side of the score line. And we're going to ditch this little guy. All right. So now I have a little tab here. We're going to repeat over here. We're going to go get rid of those 3, and then we'll remove the score line. Fran's making both drinks for Scrappy Bowl. I thought the cable car looked good. All right. So now we have something that looks like this. All right. So this is going to go together like so. The tabs are going to come in. The bottom's going to come up. The back's going to go down. And then we close everybody in. Now. Yeah. If you want it to look completely like a crayon box, you would put this on the inside because the seam is on the inside. But I think because when people open your box, they're going to be seeing this back more than they're going to be seeing this back. I think it's better if we seal it on the back. That way, we're going to get a smoother look on the inside, which is what our family and friends are most going to be seeing. All right. So let's go over that one more time. So this goes in, these two tabs go in, and they get glue on their bottoms. Okay, so we're going to put glue on their bottoms so that then they get glued to this piece when it comes up. And then on this piece, we'll put glue on the back so that it gets glued to the back. And that's that. Yes, the pockets will slide in and out more smoothly. They will. All right, so we need tape on this, on these three, on this one, and this one on the back. So on the opposite side of that. All right, so now I'm gonna trim any excess tape because there was just a little more cardstock showing than I would be comfortable with. If I use 3/8 inch tape, but not quite enough to use 1/2 inch tape. So it goes. All right, now on these, we'll do what we normally do. And we'll put 2 lines of tape, one near the score and one near the edge. And then this will be literally done. So these are really simple. But once we have it assembled, I'm gonna pull out one of the ones from the inspiration piece and you'll just see how much they really do look like a crayon sleeve. Now when you put these together, you want to line the edge up with the score line to make sure they're straight. That way you don't know, that way it's not wobbly or twisted, actually, is what you're afraid of. And the reason why we cut the score lines off is so that these tabs are now slightly smaller than the bottom of the box, which means that they don't touch either of the score lines, so they lay perfectly flat on the bottom of the box. Okay, so now same deal, peel the tape and line, you know, the edge up with the score line and get it nice and straight. Then I'm going to flip it over, and you can't see this because it's kind of inside, but I'm going to use my longest scoring tool to give it a score on the inside there. And then we'll peel this tape. And I'm actually going to round the top edge of this just so I know it won't show on the back, poke up or be weird or anything. I should have rounded both of them, but it's too late to round the bottom one. All right. All right, so there is our sleeve. And here are our inserts. And then let me get the original piece. And looky here, see how theirs actually don't line up perfectly, but ours will. So there's the fronts and the backs don't line up, but ours will line up. Where the front will line up, the front of the next one will line up with the top of the previous one. I know, how dare they? How dare they? All right, so that's one. Easy peasy weezy, squeezy. Louisy, I don't know. All right, let's make two more. So we will be ready for tomorrow. So what do I need? I need 8 by 11.5 inch cardstock. Alrighty. 2 sheets of 8 by 11.5 inch cardstock. Dun 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 da 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 da. Ready for Sunday. Yes, ready for Sunday. Ready for Sunday. Nothing's happening tomorrow. I meant Sunday. All right, so on the 11-inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. Your anniversary is happening tomorrow. Well, happy anniversary. And then on the 8-inch side, or the 8-inch side, we're going to score at 6.5, 7.5, and that's it. And then we're going to do it again. So on the 11-inch side, 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches, 6, 7, so on the 8-inch side, 6.5 and 7.5, and that's it. Fold along all the score lines and burnish. And this one is the opposite of the other one. It doesn't matter. You just have to make sure you remove the same pieces. So I just did these two in the mirror image of the first one. So just in case you do that, you get rid of this one. So you get rid of the two that are on the free edge that has the cut edge that doesn't have the extra scoring. You get rid of both the small ones under those tabs, and on the scored edge, those three in the corner, and that's it. And now we just slice and dice. Well, and it's funny because you could have all your inserts and sleeves made. And the only thing, like structurally, we're going to make the box. And I have an easy, I think it's an easy way to do the box, friends. So I think we're going to do, I think you'll like it, because what we're going to, because making a box with angled lid can be hard. But I think I have an idea that's going to work. Not hard. It just can be finicky because you got to get your angles so perfect. But I think I have a way where your angles can be sloppy. I think I've developed a technique for lazy crafters, essentially, is what I'm saying. Fran already has 4 envelopes cut and scored. Good. That's good. Is Costco a big shop? Yes. Which is, it belongs to a category of store known as a warehouse store, which is literally a warehouse with pallets of stuff that are sold at a discount because they do the bulk of their profit in memberships to the warehouse. So you pay a certain amount of money every year to be able to access the warehouse, and then you can buy stuff. A lot of the times, well, Costco says everything is always, they try to do 20% off retail, I think is their goal. But you do have to buy, Fran, that stands for Berkeley Jensen, not what you're thinking. Growing up, that was the warehouse closest to my parents, because the closest Costco was like a 45-minute drive. All right, so now we'll do the other. I know that Fran thought it just stood for Bon Jovi's. And she thought that John Bon Jovi had started expanding his business ventures. I know that's what Fran was thinking. Remember to remove the score lines on either side of these little tabs because it does make a big difference to how well this is all going to fit together. All right, there's the other one. So we're done with our craft knife and our plate. Gonna throw everybody in the recycling bin. And then on the edge, we're going to put the tape on the inside. And then everywhere else, it's on the outside. Oh, I got to cut their fronts. Almost forgot. I'll finish taping and then I'll cut their fronts. I wasn't done with my craft knife. All right, so I've had memberships to BJ's, Costco, and Sam's Club, depending on which one was closest to me at any given time. And if I was going to rank them, I would probably rank them Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's. BJ's being my least favorite. But my Instacart delivers Sam's Club. So, and the prices are really good. So we have found that we don't need a Sam's Club membership. Now, our Instacart also delivers Costco, but the prices are way jacked up. So, you still, it's just better to go to Costco. All right. So now we're going to, just rounding the corners of the tabs. And then remember, this is the back. So since this is the back, this is the front, and this is where we punch our curves. And then we'll remove that front piece. That's a pretty good deal, Fran. If it's the most convenient option. I mean, I am not willing to drive huge distances for any of these things. But since we started doing the meal prepping, it helps a lot to have a warehouse. Because we had let our Sam's Club membership lapse because we didn't find that we were using it that much. But then when we started doing the meal prepping, it'd be like, well, you need 5 pounds of ground beef for this one recipe. And we were like, maybe we should reconsider a warehouse. And in between when we let Sam's Club lapse, and when we started to ask if maybe we should get another warehouse membership, they opened a Costco near us. So that's what we went with. Ugh, I didn't do my tape. This is the worst assembly line of all time. That's true. Nothing is convenient. Word. Poor Fran. Poor Fran. Well, and even if you have a country stores always charge, like, and it's, you know, fine because they are convenient. And it's better than driving all the way into town. But country stores charge. Oh, you have a dollar store. All right, so there's a country store in the town where I work, but their fresh food sucks. Poor Fran. All right, so cut an inch down from the top. And I'm not going to mark it with a pencil. I'm just going to cut it Maverick style. From scoreline to scoreline on the front piece. And then cut it free. Remember to make sure that the score line gets cut with it so that your edges are nice and clean. All right. All right. Oh, Fran works for the literal man. The smallest town I've ever lived in is, I'm going to Google it. Well, I don't know what it would have been. Let me see if I can find the 2000 census. $13,589 people. That's the smallest place I've ever lived. All right, that's box, or not box, sleeve number 2. And now we'll do sleeve number 3. How fancy are we? So we'll have gotten all 3 sleeves decorated in an hour, or not decorated, because we're not going to decorate these because you don't really see them, you know, unless you pull them out. So I'm not going to decorate them. I'm going to leave them plain. But $533. We have one red light that we don't need. Wow. All right. All sleeves are done. So, let's see. Let's see if we can decorate the rest of our now the town that I lived in that was so small had railroad tracks and no bars that came down. So it had 2 stop signs and a bell. And you had to stop at the first stop sign, look for the bell, look for the light, and then stop at the second stop sign, check again, and then you could go. So, all right. Well, looky here. So this is what these look like. And your photo goes in the center. And you can add additional photos in the envelopes if you want to. There's room. That way, if you want to change them out, you can. All right, so I'm going to get my little template bag, or templates, and I'm going to get the pattern paper templates and the strings and whatnot that I made. We'll decorate those too, and then we'll see what our situation is. Well, I'm trying to think if I ever heard of anyone getting hurt at the railroad crossing. I feel like it's one of those things where, you know, when it's on you whether or not you're going to get killed. versus on the like railroad track things. Although people are, the thing about railroad crossings, I think, is that people don't understand how fast trains are going because, not to get too into the science of it, but because the mass of a train is so large, it's difficult to calculate its speed. And so what happens is people, usually drunk ones, think that they can outrun the train because the train appears to be going very slowly, but actually the train is going incredibly fast. It's just that it's so big that you can't perceive it to be going its actual speed. All right, so I'm going to start with the journaling spots since that's going to be consistent on all of them. And I'm just going to make 4. But I don't think anyone ever did get hit. It wasn't that busy of a road though, so it was a road out of a residential area onto what was kind of the main drag. So it wasn't like it wasn't a particularly busy area. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all 4 of them out of here unless I do some surgery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the thing in my trimmer and cut on the lines in between them. And I'm going to also do a public service announcement about the 5x7 pinwheel. I got an email this week from someone who couldn't figure out why every time they did the 5x7 pinwheel, it was cut about 5/8 of an inch into the 5x7 cards. And it was because they used the bottom of the trimmer. And if you use the bottom of the trimmer, then you have to adjust how deep you cut. You can't cut up to 5 because it doesn't go all the way to the top. So this is not to make anyone feel dumb. But what I would recommend, if you like to use the bottom of the trimmer, the easiest way to do the 5x7 pinwheel is going to be to turn the trimmer upside down. That way you can put it at 5 and you can still cut to 5. So you can still do 5 and 5. Priya, no one knew it was you until you outed yourself. So if you like to cut towards yourself because you like to see the lines easier, when you're doing the 5x7 pinwheel, turn it so that the thing is technically upside down, so that the 1 is closest to you. Then you can still put your paper at 5 and cut down to 5. And it'll work, and you won't have to adjust the measurements at all. Or you have to adjust the measurements. Those are your 2 options. But anyway, if you need help, ask for help, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about. And it might be a learning opportunity for someone else. So there you go. Now, did write Priya back and tell her that I thought her trimmer was somehow broken because I literally could not understand what happened. And then she wrote me back, and after she'd had to think about it and realized it was because she cuts down towards the bottom. So it took two of us to get it figured out, but we got there. So, all right. So I'm going to have to do a surgery. So we're going to do surgery. Because oh, hubby saved the day. Yes, it is, Ellen. I'm holding it back from the shop until then so you can get it with the coupon. So, yep, it's releasing on Sunday. Yep. So Ellen's question, if you're watching on the video, is the new Beyond Infinity binding going to be in the shop on Sunday so that you can get it? Yes. So yeah, it is. It is. So that's definitely something you can pick up. That's a good thing to pick up because that's the next project we're going to do. And we're going to do it twice. Because I promised we would. All right. So here's the situation. We need to see how I have to cut off. I have to get rid of the red. So this is really annoying. So I'm going to cut whatever this is. It's not quite 2 inches. So I'm going to cut like 2.5 inches off to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. All right. And then what I need to do is I need to get rid of the red. All right. So that I can find a place maybe to, oh, I don't have anywhere to, okay, new plan. I'm going to cut in between these so I can maybe rotate it. Man, I really don't want to just like get a new sheet of paper. How like I'm always so stingy with paper. This is literally paper I could just print another sheet of right now, and I'm still being stingy with it and trying to figure out how I can get away without printing another one. For Catch a Tag, you don't need that much paper. You need a lot of cardstock, like a ton of cardstock. But you don't need a lot of, like, okay, see this? This is the main page element for Catch a Tag Remastered. And it takes 4 pieces of cardstock just to make this element. Okay, just to make this element. And times 6, and that's what? 24. So that's a pack of cardstock right there just to make this. And on the back of it's a waterfall, which is going to take like another pack of cardstock to make. So you need a bunch of cardstock. 8.5 by 11 is not too small, I don't think, because nothing. So, because everything is bigger than 12 inches, everything is 2 pieces fit together. So let me look at the measurement list really quick and see. Yeah, I mean, you could do it out of 8.5 by 11. because you do have to cut it into pieces. Everything's cut into pieces. You really could, oh no, something is. So there, well, you would want 12 by 12 for this color. This one. But you can use for this one, for the construction one, you can use 8.5 by 11. So for the, what you're using for your tags, you will need 12 inches of that, whatever you decide for your tags. But everything else can be done, it looks like can be done with 8.5 by 11. The original name of that pocket, like if you wanted to buy the tutorial, is the Trifolio. Well, I don't think there's a way for me to do this. But let's just see for a second. If I can just, if I stick this, yeah, because even if I get these lined up, I can't get the red lines lined up. I'm just going to have to print a new piece of paper. Blurg. Okay. Just what I need right now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to not do that though. I'm going to not do that, and I'm just going to use paper from my stash that I have a bunch of. Just going to stop being a paper Midas. No, not Midas. Scrooge. A paper Scrooge. It'd be nice to be a paper Midas. And everything you would touch would turn to paper. Hi. How are you? Are you grumpy? Why are you up here? Are you grumpy? All right, so Tiny is grumpy. They don't all have to have the same journaling spots inside. You can mix it up. But they should match, you know, going across. So and then, yeah, so we've got with the Glitter Gang swag, I think we're gonna not release that this weekend because what we're looking into is like going through a shop like Society 6 or one of those, so that we could design the logo and you could put it on anything you wanted. So you could get exactly the kind of cup or mug or water bottle or whatever, t-shirt, hat, like whatever you like, and that way we wouldn't have to try and hold a bunch of inventory in a bunch of different sizes. We'll be starting Catch a Tag Remake as soon as we're done with the Scrappy Bowl project. So, I mean, my guess is the Scrappy Bowl project will finish on Scrappy Bowl, so we can start Catch a Tag next Thursday. Catch a Tag Remastered. But, even if we had to finish up a little bit from Scrappy Bowl on Thursday after Scrappy Bowl, honestly don't think it would be that much because we're only making the box on Scrappy Bowl because we've already done all this prep. So because we've already done so much prep for our pencil box, then I don't think we'll have that much to do. I mean, we won't decorate every single insert, but we'll have decorated a few of them, so. No. So the way the remasters are totally separate tutorials that are inspired by the originals. So you don't need to purchase the originals. They're completely different projects. You could not make one from the instructions of the other. It would not be possible. They're totally different. The only thing that's the same is the idea. So what I wanted to do with these remastered ones was just say, hey, that was a good idea. Let's do it again and do it in a different or new way. So they're completely different tutorials. So you don't need the original Catch a Tag to do the remastered. You know, if you've already done it, it'll probably be easier the second time around to make caught tags, but it's not necessary at all. So, and that's what I want to do for all of them. If I, you know, is make them just totally new projects. And it was Half the Fun that gave me the idea, because Half the Fun was kind of loosely inspired by Twice the Fun. It's kind of like Twice the Fun remastered. Do I have any 1/4" tape? What? I don't have any 1/4" tape. Really? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, anyways, I think it'll be fun to redo the projects, but there'll be new projects. So, like I said, if you've already done Catch a Tag, this won't feel like you're doing the same thing again. Any more than Half the Fun felt like Twice the Fun. So, I mean, yes, they were inspired. Twice the Fun and Half the Fun are inspired by, well, Half the Fun is inspired by Twice the Fun. But, you know, they're not the same at all to work on, really. Did I try to use it? I thought I was trying to use up 1/2", and I'm out of 1/4". I don't want to be out of 1/4". I'm gonna have to have I'm gonna have to steal some from Mr. Lifeguard. He will be so happy. Yeah, I've been trying to use up the 1/2", because we're not going to sell the 1/2" anymore, because I don't think it's as useful as 3/8. Like, there's not a lot of stuff that you need 1/2" for that 3/8 wouldn't work for. Don't mess up the inventory. I know, I get in so much trouble. Do you know what the other thing I get in trouble for? This is so funny. I'm constantly getting in trouble for buying 2" tape, because every time we place a tape order, I added a couple rolls of 2" tape for me, because I always think that I'm on my last roll of 2" tape, but I never am. And now I have so many rolls of 2" tape. Mr. Lifeguard is really mad. So he actually brought them all up out of his inventory area and made me find room in my drawers to punish me for buying so many 2-inch tapes. So no, he's doing his inventory on Saturday. And if you come to the store on Saturday and the shop is gone, sometimes we do that when we're getting ready so that we don't panic. Maybe I should sell some 2-inch tape. Maybe we should have a roll of 2-inch tape as a Scrappy Bowl special. That's true. He doesn't know. You know, he doesn't know that. What's going to happen is one day I'm going to actually run out of 2-inch tape and there's not going to be any downstairs. And then it's like, well, are we going to place a whole order for 2-inch tape? Mr. Lifeguard does not appreciate. He doesn't properly appreciate 2-inch tape. He does not. He does not. The 2-inch tape is really sad. It's really sad. I feel so underloved. Well, and it's funny because the only sizes of tape I ever worry about running out of are the sizes of tape that we don't sell. Because if we sell it, I can always go steal it from him. And, you know, we rarely get so low on tape that it's a problem that I stole it from him. Although it has been a problem, you know, once or twice. But he does have to, anytime we do a big sale, he has to do a tape inventory because I can't be trusted. I cannot be trusted. So once again, just a reminder that if you have not entered to win the Scrappy Bowl prizes, please make sure you do that. You don't want to miss out on your chances to win some pretty cool prizes. And we're doing a separate giveaway for people who share the Scrappy Bowl Facebook post. And we will give away a year of membership to the classroom. And if you already have a year of membership, what happens is we just extend it by a year. So we just change your renewal date. We just add a year. Oh, with the magnets and the roof caps. Oh my gosh. Poor Mr. Lifeguard. Every time another thing of roof caps came in, he was just like, what is wrong with you? I still have some of the good glue too because I am a stalker, upper, hoarder type of person about certain things. I try not to be, but about certain things I really can be. And when Scotch Quick Dry glue started to get crappy, I went out and bought as much of the old glue as I could find. And I ended up with 12 or 16 rolls of it or something like that. So... all right, so now we've done those. Now we can do our decorating. And let's see. Let's get our patterned paper. Patterned paper. All right, so I'm going to use these for the top and bottom tabs. And this, I'm going to use this letter paper for the top and bottom, and then I'm going to use that floral for the sides. All right, so just gonna trace, trace, trace. Oh, that's funny, Fran. That, yeah, that was upsetting. That was definitely a sad day in crafting. When we realized Scotch Quick Dry was bad. They said it was the same. They did, but no one believes them. It's so funny. All they said that, well, they said they changed the nozzle, and that was the second time they changed the nozzle, and we all hated it the first time they changed the nozzle. And then they changed the nozzle again, and we hated it even more. We were like, why? And then the nozzle change that really killed it was it just became unusable. And so unusable that it seemed like it couldn't even be the same glue. So who knows whether it's corporate lies or that the nozzle really does make that big of a difference. But honestly, if it was the nozzle, then having these lids on it, it should have been fine. But I think there may be some fibbing. There may be some fibbing. So, poking my holes. Gonna ink my edges. I mean, that probably is what it is. Maybe every time they changed the nozzle, they made it worse. It was just like a gradual. Someone ate the original formula. They lost the original formula. So just gonna tape the edges of this. I'm gonna put these down. But yeah, with Cinder, the other thought I have is that it would make a great TV show on the CW. That it's right up the alley of the CW, you know? It's got all of, you know, because they have all those superhero shows and supernatural shows. So that's what needs to happen. It needs to become a show specifically on the CW. I was like, that's the network. That's the network for it. And Prince Kai will just have like a reason to be shirtless in every episode because that's also what part of the CW's aesthetic. So you're about to start Supernatural. Do I have any advice for you? Okay. Well, seasons 1 through 5, you kind of want to go at them as like one show. So kind of like those were all written together by the same person, and they were pre-written, like pre-planned. So that's kind of like one arc of it. And then all of the other seasons were written in the traditional way that television is written, you know, where they episodically kind of, and then there's like a loose arc. Sometimes there's a loose arc. So the first 5 seasons are the ones that follow each other the most closely. Okay. And but that's not to say that those are the only good ones, but there are some bad arcs. The Leviathan arc, there are some arcs that I was like, should we just skip this? So so Supernatural's first episode is like all pilots, very goofy and kind of silly. Like TV pilots are rough. But the other thing about Supernatural is that show started, 16 years ago. So the show itself's technology, of course, has come a long way. The actors have come a long way just in their skills as actors. I mean, they were in their early 20s when they were in their... Jensen Ackles, who plays the older brother, was 24. Oh, the hardcore double stuff doesn't stop until like season 6. So then you would not... I mean, that's not just in the first... Like, that is an arc that continues on for a long time. So that's like... Yeah, there's like 5 years of that. And then demons never leave the show, but they stop being as menacing after the 5th season. But they're always there. They're always there. And I think Supernatural is I think if you're from an Abrahamic religion, or if you were raised in like an Abrahamic religion, like I find demon stuff can be particularly troubling to people, with that kind of idea of angels and demons. Like I know people who aren't bothered by that at all, and to me, the demons are literally the scariest thing you can put in a movie or TV show. Melanie's correcting everyone's grammar. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Melanie's editing the chat. I couldn't watch Sabrina for this reason. Oh, she's only correcting Fran because Fran asked for correction. Sabrina was way too demon-y for me. So it crossed my demonic limits. Yeah, I had to piece out of Sabrina. So if it's any consolation, Gretchen, like you can, I mean, if you for some reason wanted to try Supernatural, I mean, it's not as, I didn't find it as intense as Sabrina overall, but welcome back. So yeah, but yeah, I'm just waiting for the Lunar Chronicles on the CW. They need something to replace Supernatural in the lineup anyways, so yeah, they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do. All right, so now I'm going to put this red underneath on the two sides. All right, and now we'll cut it out. And since these don't have the brads under them, I'm gonna try and save a little time and do the liquid glue. Well, I watched the sitcom Sabrina, and that's what I was expecting, and whoa. Whoa, 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 no. There's too much tracing for Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean she's upset that there's not SVGs yet. She's gonna put on her SVG cape and fly. Yeah, it's not like it at all. The sitcom was like, no, it was, I mean, it was about Sabrina trying to deal with the challenges of trying to live a normal life and trying to be a witch, but it was just a comedy. You know, there wasn't a lot of really like scary stuff going on. The devil was not a main character, you know, that kind of stuff. But Buffy was like definitely scarier than Buffy and Supernatural are kind of on a level with each other, I would say, in terms of maybe scariness and gore or whatever. Although I don't remember. I mean, Supernatural, of course, it gets more. I think probably. Well, there's a running joke in the series where you like whenever somebody dies, they just throw blood at a wall. And that's from in the beginning when they didn't have a budget. But then they just kind of kept it. And it just became a running joke. But Buffy was not like... Sabrina. Now, October Faction, yeah, we watched a couple episodes of that the other day while I was doing my sister's nails. All right, so that's cute too. So now we just need to find something to go here that's going to coordinate with this red. And I think I'll just use the floral that's on the back of the red. Because I can get it out of this little scrap at the top. Oops, I'm tracing on the front. Oh well. But yeah, I guess we could, one of the things that was suggested for if you need help picking books for your book club was to pick something that's going to be adapted to TV this year. Well, we have to decide on a category of book. The book category I've done the most research on was National Book Awards. But guys, I don't know if you know this, but people who write National Book Awards write some real downers, okay? Because all the National Book Award books that I tried were downers. So I don't know if I'm just bad at picking or if we only give literary awards to serious books that are major downers, but I don't know if we want to read major downers. And I'm not saying don't read downers, you know. You can get a lot of, you know, edification and growth as a human from reading a downer. But I'm just thinking that that's not necessarily what we want for crafty chat. They give Oscars to downers. That's true. That's true. I guess the rich people who give out these awards just don't like happiness. Did Joker get an Oscar? I mean, that was probably, but what, it was a downer though, right? Like, I'm not saying downers aren't good, but they definitely have what they're into, and they're into downers. I meant to see Joker, but I was traveling and it got away from me. So when it comes out, I'll rent it. All right, let's make another one. What time is it? Yeah, we can make another one. All right. So let's do the Tiny Cat page. And what we're going to do is I'm going to have to cut right out of the middle, and I'm going to have to cut off part of the cat to keep the good books will satisfy your curiosity, but that's okay because you'll still know it's a cat. All right, so oh, that's a cool idea, Joyce. So Joyce said she recently did a split decision that was all mini pages, so it would have been in a regular binding, not in a split binding. It would have been an infinity binding. But instead of having them fold around to their backs, she had them mirror each other so that there was one on the left side of the binding and one on the right side of the binding, so that each spread was mirrored. It's a really good idea. I do recommend thinking about, when, again, just as a reminder, you know, with split decision, that it can be done as an album of all full-size pages or all half-size pages very easily, so you can really get several different styles of album out of that one album basics guide. So even though we did the most, you know, where we just did a huge book and stuffed everything in it, you do not have to do that. That's not required. And it would make, also you can make those, use the small pages as inserts. All right, so now we can put this on our envelope. So we've got our tiny cat on here. All right. Can I get a pic with Tiny and the Kindle? Probably. She likes to sleep on me when I'm reading, so. I think I have a picture of her with with a comic book. Let me see. Yeah. I have a picture of her sleeping next to a comic book, but I can try and get a picture of her looking at the Kindle. Maybe we can get a picture where she looks like she's reading. Here's a picture where she looks like she's dead. This one does too. Cats are, these are 3/4 inch circles, Ellen. 3/4 inch. I find 1/2 inch is a little too small when the brad is 1/4 of an inch. Then you only get 1/8 of an inch all the way around. All right, so got our cats. So now I'm going to use the paper that's on the back, and I'm going to see if I can make a liner. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but we'll see what I can do. Gonna do this for the inside, and then we're gonna have to try and do a little paper surgery. Wonder if I could trick Tiny Cat into taking a nap on a book, because we do have some books around here. I didn't get rid of every single book I owned. All right. So now, I don't have very much of this paper, and this company went out of business, so that's why I've got to be stingy with it. Although, honestly, if I was a scrapbook company that went out of business, I would still put all my designs online, or at least sell them to someone who has an online store for digital stuff. I mean, it's not doing anything on your computer. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is there we go. They have the JPEGs on their website. Oh, October Afternoon does? All right. Those are all good ideas. Okay. So now I'm gonna cut this down. So it's the right size, and now we just need to tape them together. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our drafting tape on it, and then I'm going to cut it so that the two halves will match up. All right, so then what we'll be able to do is peel this drafting tape off, and then they will match up like they're one piece. See? All right, so I lined up the pattern, I taped them together, and then I cut through both layers at the same time so that they would match each other perfectly. And because this is going on the inside, it's not a big deal that there's a little crack in it because it's not structural like it would be on the front. On the front, they would have to have a brad through them, so we wouldn't be able to do this with the one on the front. Then we'll just glue them down in two separate pieces right next to each other. No big deal. No big deal. Ta-da! Like it never got cut. Ta-da! All right, so on we go. I'm wearing an apron. I have to wear an apron to hold my microphone because I switched to a lavalier microphone a while back. And I need something to clip it to, and I don't always have a top I can clip it to, but one bonus is that I can wipe glue on my apron, so so I have this right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually starting to get shiny. Oh, there you can see a little bit of it. This one spot on the apron is starting to get shiny from the glue. All right, so this is a good combination with the cat. So now we just need another print that will look cute with the cat, and we'll be all set. Let's do the chevrons. It is a really cute apron. Well, I recommend having crafty pants. Like a pair of pants that you wear when you're crafting so that you can just wipe glue on it. Or less gross people would suggest keeping a cloth, like a hand towel. You can keep a hand towel on your desk, and then you can drape that over your lap and then protect whatever you're wearing. But I just wear an apron. Well, the problem is, like, once a pair of pants has become crafty pants, then, you know, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally crafty pants a pair of pants that you didn't want to be crafty pants. I just use baby wipes. See, Donna's not gross. I use baby wipes if I'm really sticky, but if it's just a little drop of glue, then I don't bother. All right, so now we'll poke. And ink and tape. Well, I try not to get glue on my nails. That's my big thing, because glue will mess up my manicure before I'm ready to redo it. I do my own nails and it's a whole production. So, so I like it to last, so I don't have to do it maybe once or twice a month. Okay. Tape. You don't have enough nails to bother with a manicure. Well, my nails have always been very strong. So I think it's because they've always been strong. I've just always taken care since high school. I started keeping them long in high school. So because I have a long nail bed, so my nails look long on the long side even when they're not particularly grown out. Although they are getting to their limit at this point. I can tell because 2 of my 3 nails that are the 3 that break. I have 3 nails that break. And it's the thumb on my right hand, the forefinger on my right hand, and the middle finger on my right hand. Those 3 nails. Those are the 3 that'll break. There's the ones that give me trouble. And I've broken off the thumb and the middle finger. You can see they're a little bit shorter than the other nails. But the forefinger is only cracked, so I have a silk wrap on it right now. But because it's cracked below the quick. So it didn't hurt, but it is cracked below the quick. So I need to keep it wrapped, let it grow out a little bit, and then I can cut all my nails. Gonna cut them all. How the same 3 nails break. It's not that funny. I mean, I'm right-handed. These are probably the fingers you use the most. The finger you use the least is the ring finger, which is and then your pinky is. Yeah, that's what happens with these, Ella, is they split down the side. What's the next design I have planned? Well, I had thought about trying to do something for Valentine's Day with hearts, because I actually have gotten pretty good at hearts. But then I thought it's probably not going to, like, you know, it comes and goes so quickly. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do something with hearts. So if I don't do something with hearts, I don't know what I was going to do. I thought about doing something green for March and putting gems. I might get some new gems. Like different shapes than just the squares that I have. I have to place an order I'm running low on my top coat and my base coat and my Band-Aid. So I need to place. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. You need a space? There you go. All right, it's okay. Come here. Are you here to purr for everyone? Well, my fingernails are not hard. Mine are flexible. Aw, she's standing right by the microphone too. So you can probably hear some good purrs. Kitty. Hi. Oh, she's watching herself on the monitor. What's up, kitty? I took the tape off this a little prematurely. Hi, buddy. I typically will change my polish once I've grown out 1/8 of an inch of nail bed. If I can see 1/8 of an inch of nail bed in between my painting, between my polish and my cuticle is when I'll shift it. That's true. Fran has met Kitty. Kitty is very sweet. Tiny Cat can be sweet, but she can also be not sweet. She's the one who starts fights and all that kind of stuff. Hi, you sitting on some paper? That's your paper now, huh? Yeah, that's your paper. I get it. I get it. She has light colored fur. Her undercoat is a lot lighter than her overcoat or her coat. So, and because she has a black ridge down her back, if you disturb the black ridge and it shows the undercoat, it does look like a little bald spot. But it's just light fur. She's coming back. Hi. Just see her little brown furs underneath. Oh, wow. These are all yours, huh? It's all your stuff? Oh, we're gonna do chin ecstasy. Oh, chin ecstasy. Getting comfy. She's like, you're done. You're done for the night. It's 11. It's time for bed. Kitty, I literally only have to glue one more thing down. Just one more thing. Yeah, Kitty just wants to hang out with a person. She follows me around mostly. Like, while during the day, well, we saw Tiny at the beginning of the show, Joyce. I think you maybe just missed her. Tiny made an appearance today, actually. But for the most part, we've seen Kitty more this year. This year being 2020, than we have seen Tiny Cat. Oh, what a content little kitty. What a content little kitty. She's like, you messed up all my fur. Kitty, I'm gonna slide something out from underneath you, okay? Is that okay? Do you think I can do that? Oh, Kitty, why are you so... Oh. Yep. Nope. It's fine. You're good. You're all good. You're all good, buddy. But once Tiny gets used to people, like what Tiny likes to do is sleep on people. So next to people. So if she's in the mood for a nap, she'll come find someone and lie down next to them. Or, you know, so she likes to, like, if someone's sitting on the couch, what she'll do is she'll stand on your leg and she'll kick your legs until you move your legs apart, and then she'll get in between them. And then she'll just nap there, you know. And then at night, she'll do the same thing. She'll come in bed, get in bed, and then she'll kick you until you move. And then she'll lie down next to you. And then she'll just chill. But she doesn't want to like just hang out and be petted while I'm working, whereas Kitty really likes to just hang out and be petted while I'm working. All right, so we've got the kitty envelope, or the tiny cat envelope, really. So we've got the chevron on the front, and then we see tiny, and then we've got our Franken paper down here. Photo goes here. And let's get a sleeve. All right, and then we've got the, a book is like a garden. There's lots of quotes about books in here because this paper collection is called Public Library and it's library themed. And then we've got that layout. Of course, room for, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. I stopped petting you. I know. It was a horrible abuse. Boop. And then the yellow and the chevron. This is the one that Tiny Cat chewed. And we have room for another one in here, so we can fit the fourth one in here, no problem. All right. So that is that. Well, Fran, I think what I'm going to do is after Scrappy Bowl, I'll put up another vote on the next book. And I'll probably just pick like 3 of these contemporary romances. Like one of the ones is a Hollywood historical fiction sort of book called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That one a lot of people really love. And another one is Mommy got my phone. There's a retelling of Pride and Prejudice called Pride and Prejudice and Other Spices, where a really prideful neurologist, Pride, Prejudice and Other Flavors, where a really stuck-up neurologist, oops, I just rented it. Oh well, I guess it's mine now. I mean, so it's about a neurologist who needs help, and her family hires a chef for her or something, and it's someone she used to know from high school, and there's like some drama with that. Let's see, what else do I have? Stop trying to rent this book. What else was recommended? The Wedding Date. This is a fake date kind of story where, you know, hire someone to be your date to a wedding and fall in love kind of deal. So something, I was just thinking like a light rom-com maybe, because it's February. So I'll pick 3 that are highly rated, and then you can vote. There's always drama with high school. There's always drama with high school. Always. Actually, it's so funny because we were watching a movie the other day, and it had a bunch of kid bullies in it. I think they did make The Wedding Date into a movie, Ellen. Yes. I think they did. Was it any good? But yeah, it's a huge bestseller, A Wedding Date. Tons of famous book clubs picked it, like Reese Witherspoon's. It was meh. I wonder if the book is meh. It has the lowest number of stars on all the books at my library. At my library. So, but that doesn't, but it also has the most ratings. It has way more, like 10 times as many ratings as Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors. And then I have a couple other books on hold, but I don't know if they're, I gotta find my hold shelf. I'm sorry. Okay, so The Unhoneymooners, which is about a lucky sister and an unlucky sister. And the lucky sister like wins a honeymoon for her wedding, and then and she wins the catering for her wedding, like all of that. And everyone at the wedding gets food poisoning, except for the unlucky sister and the brother of the groom, who the unlucky sister hates. So they go on the honeymoon in their place, but then they have to pretend to be honeymooners. So that's another fake date sort of situation. Fake dates are really popular. I believe in a thing called Love, which I believe is about a woman who has never dated before and decides she's going to get into dating, but the only thing she knows about dating is what she's observed on her dad's Korean dramas. So she decides to use those as a blueprint for how to date, which, as someone who has watched Korean dramas in the past, I can tell you is not going to end well for her at all. Not going to end well at all. So, I mean, there's quite a few that are really well regarded. Wow, this cat is just like, she's just done. So I have a bunch that are very well regarded in the like rom-com sort of genre. So that's one thing I thought of. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about that in general? Because I can narrow it down to 3, you know, from all the ones that I found on various lists. Oh, I've seen that. Everyone in that movie kind of sucked. Like, as in they were like not great people. Her sister especially was the worst. Like, what the heck? Yeah, I think February does have rom-com vibes for sure. So I think we could do. Don't you wish you were as relaxed as Kitty? Don't you wish that you had as few problems and as many scritches as Kitty? Okay, so then what we'll do is I will go through. I have a list of, you know, between 5 and 10 of them. I'll narrow it down to 3, and then we'll vote after Scrappy Bowl. And that way I can pin it to the group, to the top of the group. And we'll do just like we did before. We'll do a week. We'll give it a week of votes, and then we'll just go with whatever the group wants. But I enjoyed Cinder just fine. You know, like I said, it's not something I'm gonna reread over and over again. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh no! You never know when they're gonna turn on you. You never know. Yes, I liked Cinder as a casual read. I'm looking forward to Scarlet. That's the one that has the longest waiting time at my library, so I figure it's probably going to be the best. And you know, I'm interested to see what they do with the Wolfmen. And I just assume because it's called Scarlet that it's going to be Red Riding Hood and Kitty. Does anyone know why she does this? She wants to eat my ring. That's what she's after. But I'm afraid she'll hurt her teeth if she chews on it. Yeah, see, I figured it would be because of the Wolfman revelation at the end of Cinder, that they were building a Wolfman army. Which I was just like, do they need to? I mean, can't they just mind control everyone anyway? Like, why do they need a Wolfman army? Maybe that will be revealed. But it just seemed like a lot of trouble to go to me. So, but I don't know. I guess maybe it's a population. I mean, how many people could you possibly fit on the moon? So, compared to the population of the Earth, like if it came to all out hand-to-hand fighting, it would be, the moon would probably be at a disadvantage. All right. So that's enough of me petting a cat and yammering about books. We will do a rom-com in February. I will put the three that I narrow it down to in the Facebook group to vote on after Scrappy Bowl. I will see you all on Sunday for Scrappy Bowl. On Scrappy Bowl, I'll have a link where you can download the materials, cutting guide videos, whatever I put together for the box. And you'll have 24 hours to download that, or it will be in the archives. If you have the archives, you don't have to download it in the 24 hours. And also the Catch a Tag Remastered will be available to purchase at the discounted price as well. And then we'll start that as soon as we're done with Scrappy Bowl, which I think will be on Scrappy Bowl. I can't imagine that we won't be done with it. But you never know. You never, ever, ever know. And we'll have tons and tons of prizes to give away. So thanks so much. I'm looking forward to it. Get your cable cars ready or your ice waters. And I'll see you on Sunday right here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern USA time for a big crafty party. Bye now.